so far. So this is too soon, this phase here. That's too early because we haven't got a double distribution away from that down move. So if I now do another technical level here, now we're starting to see something a little bit more interesting because this is starting to jam in a little bit. The only thing I'm looking at, however, is the fact that it's still selling away from that level. It's not simply reversing and rejecting off that price, but so I'm now aware of the possibility, bearing in mind I've got this technical level below me as well. So this doesn't look good, but this one hasn't happened yet. As we come down to the next technical level, we've now got this price here. In terms of that technical level, I quite like what happens here because when we go through that technical level, the price then comes along to this point here. Do you see what's happening? The price actually starts giving us a double distribution and we get a fast candle reversal. See the difference in technicals? We're starting to see the slow down in selling. We see the fast candle reversal. Toxic buyers. Interesting that the toxic buyer is coming in from that technical level that we had in the background already highlighted. It's also grabbing liquidity on the buy side of the book here. It's grabbing liquidity from this price here on a bigger picture. So this is a liquidity level on the way down. It's a technical buy level because it's a technical level in the bigger picture from the way up. It's also a slowdown in price action, and it's got a fast candle reversal. Am I starting to build up an idea that this could be a very good buy opportunity here? Yes. But you're still not seeing the buyers. You're still not seeing the buyers. So when you see the buyers finally coming in here, you start thinking to yourself, right, there it is. I've now got a buyer here. I've now got a possible area that I can see as a commercial buy zone right here, agreed? Because when that price breaks out of here, of course, we then sweep this liquidity here. So we could obviously argue now that there's the technical level there on this time frame. That's another break of a technical level. So this is something that we would want to be aware of as a price, of course. Because to break a technical level, there must be buyers showing up at that price. So this isn't a commercial buy because it's at a higher price. So this is a local starting to buy this. Locals are starting to buy into this phase. Now we've now got some great levels to buy against. Now what happens when the price pulls back to that technical level? Now we don't get all the way down to this price, but bearing in mind that that is now a very, very substantial double distribution up here, isn't it? That picture there. So these technical levels reveal very, very obviously a double distribution. So a technical level is a buy location, isn't it? Whether we draw that box there or that box there, it doesn't make any difference. That there is the same as that there. It's still a buy location for us. On a higher time frame, that would be the buy. On a lower time frame, this would be a buy. But there's still buys against the technical structures. But it's not just a technical structure, is it? It's a liquidity grab. Because as the price goes higher into this previous technical level here, and it stops, interestingly enough, this is a halfback trade, but it's also a liquidity level, because if I go in the background, there was a liquidity level there. The buyers came in there and pushed the price up. So there's your buy zone. There's your buy zone right there. Now this isn't a commercial buy, so you've got to wait for the price to absorb, wait for the deltas to show up, and then buy away from the deltas. Buy away with the deltas, rather. Buy away from a trapped delta in that area. So there's your buy trade right there, guys. That's it on a lower time frame. It's not on the way down. It's on the jam on the way back up again. It's on the jam and on the way back up again. So when we go back off that 1 minute chart, and I now take you into a 30-minute chart, and we see where the arrow now is located, if we see where the arrow is now located, all of a sudden you start to recognize how this trade evolved in at this price here. Get rid of that since that was the big picture we were seeing. We can start to see how this trade evolved in this area, right down into the lower time frames. And we can recognize just how good that commercial buy trade was, because the commercials are better on a 30-minute than they are on a 5-minute. The commercials on a 5-minute are better than the commercials on a 1 minute. The commercials on a 1 minute are better than the commercials on a 30-second, aren't they? Because there's more volume in it. It means more to everybody because the volume's greater, the bigger the time frame you use. So if we can find the best commercials on a 30-minute, we're in great shape. We're in great shape. Yes? So this is a process that we go in and out and in and out of. I could do commercials on a daily chart, guys, on the euro just as well as anything else. So you don't have to always rely on these. I mean, if you wanted to take it into the daily chart, remember that question about the fact that we don't do any kind of long-term analysis. And I say very, very simply and very bluntly, well, that's because it's the same analysis. Doesn't matter what this time frame is. This could be a 1-minute chart, a 5-minute chart, a daily chart, a monthly chart, a yearly chart if you wanted, back to 1906. So where's the commercial buys and the sells on this chart? Well, there isn't a commercial buy, is there? There is no current commercial buy trade visible. It's all selling. You go, wow. So that's interesting, isn't it? There's not a single commercial buyer in sight at the present moment. Is that strictly true? It actually is strictly true. In a pure technical sense, there is no commercial buy visible on the current chart. So if we say, well, where did the commercial sell come in? Well, then we have to try and work out the technical buys. For a commercial sell, we've got to do the technical buys, correct? So if I'm doing technical buys, I could obviously, the most recent technical buy that I can see was this one here. Would you agree with that? Because that's a down distribution here, and that's an up distribution here. So that's a technical buy right there. So that must be the commercial sell when it breaks lower. So there's your commercial sell trade coming in from that area there. From that commercial sell, we can see that there was a technical sell here. We can see there was a technical sell level here. You can see there was a technical sell level here. And we can already recognize that this current technical sell is actually getting jammed. When that technical sell gets jammed, the thing I like to do is just draw a diagonal against that to remind me that there is a possibility of a commercial buyer at the bottom edge, at least a profit-taking buyer at the bottom edge starting to show up. So when we go down off the daily charts, we can start analyzing this now on the 4-hour charts. As we analyze it on the 4-hour charts, do we see anything happening in here? Ah, yes, we do, don't we? Because obviously what's happened is that the prices now came through that technical. In terms of this bracket area here, we can see that there's a little technical here, and there's a little technical here now, isn't there? So let's take it down to the 1-hour charts, and let's see how we get on with the 1-hour charts now. So we can see that there is a change of behavior here. There was a change of behavior right at that price. Now, they ran the technical bottom edge here, didn't they? They ran that technical right there. That could have been a commercial buy zone. Agreed? Because this is a higher distribution. This is a lower distribution here. Remember, this is an hourly chart. So we could argue very clearly that that was a commercial buy there because it broke quite clearly that change of behavior back up again. If that's a technical buy zone, then we can obviously call this if this is a commercial buy zone, then we can call this a technical breakout level here, can't we? We can call this a technical breakout here, can't we? Well, if these are technical breakouts, then any pullback into those technical levels is a buying opportunity. So if we then take it from the hourly charts down into the 30-minute charts, we're not going to see much more, but we still see that in slightly better detail. We start recognizing the possible buy-side opportunity in there. And if we take it off the 30-minute charts down into the 5-minute charts, guess what happens? We start seeing everything else again, don't we? So we see that this buy trade comes down here. We can see there's a change of behavior level just against that little flip price there. Agreed? There's a top distribution. There's a top distribution. There's a double distribution down. There's a breakout trade there. There's a pullback to the commercial. There's the buying opportunity there. And there's the buying opportunity there. So you can all see that buying opportunity. Yes? Everything stacks up. Everything stacks up on the euro. Sorry, guys, I'm going to get the cats out before the cash open.